Hey everybody, Xney here today, and I'm gonna be having some heavy footage here. And I wanted to talk a bit more about the heavy man. I knew I did this in other video a little while ago, and I know nobody really likes watching heavy. It's kind of boring. You just kind of walk at people with your lawnmower gun, just slowly walking at them, holding down M1, getting random crits and destroying scouts. But I think the heavy really does have his place in Team Fortress 2, and I know no one really likes to play him because he's just slow. And this game is about moving fast. But we're on the last point of Borneo here, and I was trying to finish a contract, and I was doing the advanced part, so I have to win Borneo rounds. We're pushed back to last. I'm like, okay, I want to go like heavy defense here. I need to win this. Like, let's serious this up. So I'm like, okay, what can I play? Well, we've already got 2 demo men, we've got 2 engineers, and we got some soldiers. I don't think scout is that, personally in my opinion, well, it's a double opinion, but in my opinion, I don't think scouts are very good for last point holds, and soldiers are pretty good, but I think we had one of those too. I don't really like sharing classes on public servers, especially because we already had like a spy and a sniper too. So I'm like, boom, heavy, gonna try out this new Tommy slot. Haven't used it since the gunmetal update, so let's give it a go. And now it deploys slightly faster. Exciting, I know. So, why is heavy like really good for defense? Well, ask yourself, why is a sentry gun really good for defense? Then, after you've answered that question, which I assume you can, heavy is just a mobile sentry gun that can be healed by a medic. And I mean, that's kind of a rough way to look at heavy. I mean, the guy's good for a lot more than that. You can play different styles of heavy. But right here, I'm just a mobile sentry. I've got a medic healing me. I don't actually know who this is. He's healing me. Hootington's a master among men, a god among men. So, last point holds, heavy's really good. But then, in other situations, heavy can also be really good. I mean, pushing a cart is something heavies are great at. I mean, people just know that because cart heavies, just ride the cart and you get points. But besides that, heavies are good for like control point maps. And I know heavy isn't fun to play. I would much rather be playing a scout or something that moves fast. But heavy just has his place, and I know no one ever wants to play him on just your average public server. But if you have like a heavy who knows what he's doing and a medic, I'm sure you've all had this. You join like some Valve server or just like some Skyle or something, some like privately owned server. And there's a heavy on the other team who really knows what he's doing. He's got like 2 unusuals on, and he's got a medic with like 3 unusuals on healing him. And they're just destroying. They're like the dream team of a pub. Because if a heavy knows what he's doing, because to be a good heavy, you don't really have to have good speed, you don't have to have good maneuverability. Maybe you have to surf a rocket every now and then, but I doubt that. What you really need as heavy is positioning. And that's a lot of what heavy's skill comes from, because if a heavy's in a bad position, he's gonna die. I mean, I'm sure you've all played sniper and you've like got the heavy who's just standing there mindlessly revved up, but you've probably also faced the heavy on like upward or something, who's everywhere. He's a flanking heavy, and he's everywhere at once, and he just seems to know exactly what he's doing. Given that he also has 300 health, he's a monster. And miniguns destroy people at close range too, especially because this one deploys faster, which makes it really good at taking out other heavies if you catch them by surprise. It's one of my favorite miniguns. There's only 2 miniguns I don't like, and that's the Hulong Heater and the Brass Beast, but that's because the Brass Beast, because I hate moving at like a snail's pace, and the Hulong Heater because I like having ammo. And the Hulong Heater isn't too good at having ammo. I know you're surprised by that statement. And then the new Natasha is amazing. I wouldn't say it was great before, but after the gunmetal update, it's amazing. And the Tomislav too. Now there's a reason to use something other than the default minigun, which is always great. I mean, I love having choices in this game. There's a lot of classes that don't really have choices. I mean, if you play Pyro, you're pretty much using a flamethrower or the Flog, and you have to decide between crits or faster switch speed or more air blast cost. I don't know, I don't see much point in using anything other than the degreaser most of the time, because the degreaser is just good. And you can disagree with me. I mean, if you have a different opinion than that, like, I use the normal flamethrower every now and then, but the degreaser is just better for a lot of situations. So the medic pops mover on me, I don't know what word I just said. So I think I focused too much on that mini sentry right there, and I don't really get all the kills. That soldier just flew away though, so that's something. And another complaint I have about demo recordings, for those of you who have seen the spy video I put out a while ago, where I went on for a while complaining about my taunt menu not going away. Well, this Uber charge. I'm not Ubered right now. This is like the Uber effect being stuck on my screen because of the demo. I think it goes away when he Ubers me again, but it's a little bit annoying, so sorry if anyone's bothered by that. But back to the interesting heavy gameplay. Really high level heavy play right now. I don't know what that scout was doing, really. That's my commentary on this. Great job. So, continuing on about the heavy. Man, I could just talk about heavy for days. I mean, well, heavy doesn't really have many options when you play him, other than what minigun you use, which is, do you want a minigun that spins up faster? One that spins up a bit slower and does less damage, but has a nice slowdown effect on it, and damage reduction. The damage reduction is really nice now. And then also, you could have just a normal minigun, which is just good. Then for secondary when you're playing heavy, I mean, how often does anyone use something other than the sandwich? I mean, if you're trying to win, you're going to use the sandwich. I mean, heals all of your health, which is amazing if you're playing like a roaming heavy, or just if you need to heal a teammate, because you drop it and it's a medium health pack. So that's like the best secondary option heavy has. And you could equip the buffalo steak sandwich if you want to, say, I don't know, just go punch people to death. But I mean, that's fun every now and then. Or the Dalco's bar was buffed recently, but I don't think it's all that great. Still, it's usable, I guess. I don't use it that often. Then also, well, that's about it. I mean, how often do you need a shotgun as heavy? You've got a minigun. And heavy never really used his fist, except like to get out to the battlefield faster or absorb the hits. And I guess that's all I really have to say about heavy. He's kind of, there's not much to do with him, but he's fun to play every now and then. No matter how slow he is or all of that jazz, I still think he has his place on the team. And if you're on a server with no one playing heavy and you're losing bad, maybe go heavy. You might have some fun catching some people off guard. I think that's all I have to say for today. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.